Hello, and welcome to Higher Ground Gaming. This is Eric. Today we're going to play game number 22 of Bobby Orr career replay from his rookie season, 1966-67. The Bruins are currently 5-15-1, and they'll be playing a game against the first place. I believe they're tied for first place, or really close to first place, Chicago Blackhawks, who come in with a record of 12-5-2. On the actual season, the Blackhawks were 11-6-2 coming into the game, and the Boston Bruins were 6-11-4 coming into the game. So the Bruins are just one game off their pace of wins. They haven't had as many ties, and they've had more losses, obviously. So hopefully today we can get a victory here, sneak a victory. In the actual game, the Blackhawks beat the Bruins by a score of 10-2, so the Bruins have their work cut out for them today. It's going to be Glenn Hall in the net for the Blackhawks, who was the actual goalie, and Jerry Cheevers for the Bruins. And I'm not sure if Cheevers was the goalie or not, as they only listed the winners and the leading goal scorers in the games. The statistics were not complete back then. So we have what we have. So Bobby Orr will be starting in the game as usual. So for the Chicago Blackhawks, it's going to be Bobby Hull at left wing, Phil Esposito, the future Bruin, at center, and Kenny Wareham at right wing. The defensemen are Pierre Palat at left defense and Doug Jarrett at right defense. For the hometown Boston Bruins here at Boston Garden, it's going to be Johnny Busick, the left wing, Pitt Martin at center, and Ed Westfall at right wing. The left defenseman is Mr. Bobby Orr, and at right defense is Ted Green. So for the Blackhawks, see if I can get the highlight here. Can't see the whole thing, but it's in 19 games played. Bobby Hull has 12 goals, 8 assists for a total of 20 points. 8 penalty minutes with a plus-minus of +18. Pretty awesome there. Pierre Palat, 19 games, no goals, but with 10 assists, 10 points, 38 penalty minutes, and a plus-minus of +4. That center, Phil Esposito, 19 games played. He's got 7 goals, 9 assists for a total of 16 points. Only 2 penalty minutes and a plus-minus of 20. Doug Jarrett, 19 games, 3 goals, 3 assists for a total of 6 points. 20 penalty minutes and plus-minus of +5. And Kenny Wareham at right wing, 19 games, 12 goals, 8 assists for a total of 20 points also. And a penalty minutes 6 and plus-minus of +20. So we'll compare them to the Bruins stats, which aren't nearly as impressive. So Johnny Busick, who I believe is second on the Bruins, with 5 goals and 4 assists for a total of 9 points in 21 games. Bobby Orr has a total of just 11 points in 21 games with 6 goals and 5 assists. So Bobby Orr leads the Bruins with 6 goals. So they're about half the stats of the Chicago Blackhawks, and they have half the victories. Pitt Martin at center, 21 games, 5 goals, 5 assists for a total of 10 points. So Martin is second, I believe, with 10 points after Bobby Orr. Ted Green, who's missed a few games, has played 16 games, has no goals, but with 4 assists, 4 points, 14 penalty minutes, -3. And actually, I didn't do the minus here. Pitt Martin is -2 with 27 penalty minutes. Bobby Orr has got 20 penalty minutes and a -7. And Johnny Busick a -1 with 2 penalty minutes. And finally, Ed Westfall has played 21 games, has 4 goals, 5 assists for a total of 9 points, 14 penalty minutes, and a plus-minus of 0. So the Bruins definitely struggling this year. They would get much better next year. So game number 22 of the seasons. We're about a little over a quarter of the season play. Actually, they only played. I think they only played 70 games back. Yeah, they did 70 games back then. So about a third of the way into the season. So without further ado, let's get this game underway. So Esposito and Martin at center ice. Referee drops the puck. So we get a little delay here. Here we go. Oh, nothing happened there. Oh yeah, there it is. +5 center. So that's going to be the Bruins will win the faceoff. And Pitt Martin with it. Pitt Martin is going to pass it over to Busick, just almost intercepted by the Blackhawks. And the Bruins will have the first shot of the game. Not much on it. Glenn Hall makes the save. Well, I didn't mention Glenn Hall is a net for the Blackhawks and Jerry Cheevers for the Bruins. So the rebound's going to go out to Westfall. And Westfall will take a shot. Not much on his shot either. And that's going to be held on to by Hall. So the Bruins with the first 2 shots of the game face off in the Blackhawks zone. Again, Esposito and Martin in the face-off circle. And Esposito will win the face-off this time for the Blackhawks. It's going to be kicked out to Palat. Palat will keep it, and it looks like skated up, and Ted Green will force the dump in. This puck battle between Martin and Esposito. Should be won by Martin for the Bruins. He has the puck, and he'll pass it. Pass it around, and it'll come back to him. And he'll pass it again. This time over to Green. That's going to be taken away by Palat for the Blackhawks. And it's going to be wearing with it. He'll be taken away by Mr. Bobby Orr. He'll get it over to Green. And Green is going to give it away. And that's going to go over to Hull. Hull has it. Bruins get back quickly. Hull will pass it over to Palat. And it's going to be hit off the puck by Green. So Bruins looking high energy so far. And loose puck will be tracked down by Hull. And it's going to be taken away by Westfall. Westfall gets it over to Martin. And it's going to be forced dumping by Jarrett. Bruins will switch up. So the Blackhawks with it now. Palat chases down the loose puck. Gets it over to Jarrett. And Jarrett will give it away. Ooh, possible penalty shot. So we're going to press the assistant major here. If penalty is greater than 8, then it's a penalty shot. It's not. So otherwise it's a face-off. So it's a face-off now. So Jarrett definitely wanted a penalty shot on that one, but he will be denied. And Esposito and Dillabow in the face-off circle. And that's going to be won by the Blackhawks. Kicked out to Wareham. And line change for both teams now. And it's going to go over to Nestorenko for the Blackhawks. Nestorenko will give it away, though. Connolly has it as the Blackhawks get back. Connolly passes it over to Wadowicz. Wadowicz will pass it over to Dallas Smith. And it's going to be a penalty on Ravlich, possibly. So let's see what that is. So it's going to be on Ravlich, and it looks like it's going to be on the opponent too. Possible injury. So a lot of stuff going on here. Let's see here. See who last had the puck. And it's going to be on Ravlich, of course. Or Ravlich Let's see, Ravlich, 5 penalty rating. 5 injury rating. So it's just above that. Would have missed 3 games if it was greater than that, but it's less than that, so no injury. So the penalty is going to be on Wadowicz, possibly. Let's see if... And that is, 34. So that's going to be against him. It's already another penalty against Ravlich, so that will be the offsetting penalty. Will be on Wadowicz. So offsetting penalties and no misconduct for slashing. And the penalty on Ravlich was roughing. So offsetting penalties, so it'll remain 5-on-5. Let's make sure Ravlich is not up here. No. And Wadowicz is not here. Okay, good. All right, face off. At the 15-minute mark of the first period. No score yet. And it's going to be won by the Bruins. It's going to go out to Mr. Bobby Orr. Orr is going to get it over to Green. And it's going to be come back around to him. And line change for both teams. We'll put Orr on again. And it's going to go over to the right wing. Actually, and it's not going to be intercepted. So Stewart with it. He's going to fire up and take a shot. And that's going to be saved and covered up by Hall. So face off in the Blackhawks zones. Bruins looking pretty good so far. 1 minute left on the penalties to Ravlich and Wadowicz. Esposito and Oliver in the face-off circle. Face-off won by Esposito. He'll get it over to Van Impe. And that is going to be a penalty on McKenzie. Let's see what that is. If it doesn't end up being, if it's beyond his range, then it will be a pass. So to Wareham, by Wareham. And that is going to be a minor penalty on McKenzie. And a misconduct. No match. So McKenzie goes to the penalty box. This time the Blackhawks will be on the power play. It's going to be Busick, Orr, Green, and Martin on the penalty kill for the Bruins. And Mons, Palat, Esposito, Jarrett, and Wareham. Which I believe is the whole, other than Mons, I think is the whole first line for the Blackhawks. So Blackhawks on the power play. So Esposito and Martin in the face-off circle. It's going to be won by the Blackhawks. Over to Jarrett. Jarrett has it. He'll wind up and take a good shot here. And it's going to be saved by Cheevers. First shot by the Blackhawks today. So Cheevers will leave it for Green. Green over to Busick. And that's going to be a forced dump in by Wareham. Hall will recover it and leave it for Palat. And those are the matching penalties are over. Still a minute left on the power play. Ooh, Bilbao not good defensively. Paris. Connolly. Oof. Looks like we're going to go to Pitt Martin again. Bruins are not a great defenders here. Not left wing anyway right now. After McKenzie is out. Let's see here. And that is going to be a takeaway by Martin. And that is going to go over to Marat, but that will be taken away by Makita. And that's going to be intercepted by Marat again. Line changes for both teams. And it's going to be hit off the puck by Porat is Martin. And it's going to be a loose puck battle between Jarrett and Busick. That'll be won by Busick for the Bruins. And Busick will ice it. And Doug Jarrett with it now. Skates it up. And he'll pass it over to... Pass it around. It'll come back to him. But, however, it's going to be Bobby Orr with the... Force it. Ooh, that should have been a pass. Hold on now. Let's go back to Jarrett in the pass. Force dumping should have been a pass on that one. So Esposito with it now. And, ooh, that's going to be an interception by Orr. Oh, actually, it should be even strength now. Is that when, I don't know why it doesn't do it automatically. It should after the, one thing inside the crease hockey does not do is when there's a misconduct penalty is it doesn't put it back even strength, which it should do after the 2 minutes. So, doesn't do. Kenzie, oops, no. Kenzie not on there. And we'll bring Busick on there. Alright, so let's see here. So they get a little bit extra on their power play there, but still aren't able to score. So it's going to go out to Stewart, and Stewart will give a great feed over to Mr. Bobby Orr, and Bobby Orr with a chance to put the Bruins on the board will wind up and shoot. And that is going to be deflected wide by Esposito. Doesn't even get to the net. So it's going to be Palat and Stewart battling for the loose puck. And it's going to be won by Palat. Line changes for both teams. And Jarrett with it now for the Blackhawks. As we reach the halfway point of the first period, no score still. Only 4 shots total on net. 3 by the Bruins, 1 by the Blackhawks. And that's going to be a takeaway by Watson. The Bruins gets it over to Marat. Marat will wind up and take a shot. And that is going to be a goal. So the Boston Bruins get on the board first on the goal by Marat. Alrighty, I apologize for a little bit of a delay in the video there. Where I'm at, the internet isn't the fastest. Alrighty, so the Bruins get on top. Okay, I don't know why it's restarting again, but apparently it keeps on celebrating the Bruins here. Because I have closed the video, so hold on. Alrighty, I think we're good now. Get some delayed sound bites there. But anyway, Gil Marat, or Gilles Marat, I believe how it's pronounced, puts the Bruins on top 1-0. Let's see if there's any assists on the play here. And it's going to be a takeaway by Joe Watson, so thanks for the takeaway. So Joe Watson will get the assist. And they're not letting me put an assist for Joe Watson there, so we'll have to change him over to another position. Let's see here. See if I can. No, it doesn't want to let me do it here. So hold on here. No, it doesn't let me do it here, of course. I don't think I can put him at another position. I think as long as let's try this. I think if I go to Autoline here. Okay, let's try to put him on now. No, can't put him on there. So for some reason it's not letting me put him on. Even though he should get an assist on the play. It's not letting me do it, so. Oh well. Let's see here. I don't even know who's on this line right here. I think it's, I want to say, oh, Oliver's over there. I don't even know. Let's try this again. Keeps putting John McKenzie on there. Oh. Alright, we'll just put Busick on there. Anyway, so the Bruins get on top 1-0 on the goal by Marat. I mean, yeah, I guess Marat. Oops, we don't want this. Hold on now. Okay, there we go. We're good. Alright. So, did I not mark the goal before? Oh, I didn't mark the goal, that's why. Okay, that makes sense. So, Gus Marat with the goal. Get so excited we didn't mark the goal. So, we'll give him the goal. Alright, that might help. And now it should let us do the assist. You can't have an assist without a goal. So now they'll let Joe Watson have the assist. There you go. That explains it. Alright, makes a lot of sense there. You got to do things right. Alright, so now we'll change the lines up. And of course, McKenzie will not be on the line, so we'll put Busick there. So the Bruins take a 1-0 lead. So Oliver and Esposito at center ice after the goal. Referee drops the puck. And it's going to be won by the Bruins. Crowd really into it now. Mr. Bobby Orr with the pass. He'll pass it over to Oliver. Oliver will take the shot. No, actually it's going to be intercepted by Stapleton. And Stapleton with it. He'll pass it over to Esposito. Esposito with the pass over to Ravlich. And Ravlich with the pass back to Hull. Hull will wind up and take a shot. And that's going to be deflected wide by Stewart. Both teams will change lines now. It's going to be a puck battle between Chico Mackey and Wadowich for the Bruins. And that'll be won by Mackey for the Blackhawks. And it's going to go over to Dennis Hull, brother Bobby Hull. And he's going to give a great feed over to Palat. Palat will wind up and take a shot. Not much on it. And it's going to be blocked by Martin. Loose puck battle between Wadowich and Hull. And it's going to be won by Wadowich for the Bruins. And he'll get it over to Westfall. Westfall with the pass over to Smith. And it'll be taken away by Jarrett for the Blackhawks. Jarrett with it, and he will give it away. And Busick with it as the Blackhawks get back quickly. Line changes for both teams. Hoping Parisi on there. And it's going to go over to Stewart. Stewart will take a weak shot. And that is going to be a save by Hall. He'll leave it for Boyer. Boyer skates it up. Gets it over to Van Impe. Van Impe with a great feed. Back to Boyer. Boyer with the shot. And that's going to be a save by Cheevers. Only the second shot by the Blackhawks today. Cheevers will leave it for Parisi. Parisi with it. He'll pass it over to Stewart. And it's going to be a forced dump in by Boyer. Loose puck battle between Parisi and Mons. And Mons will with that for the Blackhawks. Over to Van Impe. Van Impe will wind up and take a shot. And it's an easy save for Cheevers. He'll leave it for Watson. Watson over to Stewart. And Stewart will take a weak shot. And that'll be held on to by Hall. So face off in the Blackhawks zone as we near the 4-minute mark of the first period. Bruins up 1-0. Face off between Gotti and Oliver now. And that'll be won by the Bruins. Over to Parise. Line changes from both teams. Ron Schuck now with it for the Bruins. He'll take the shot, and that'll be saved by Hall. Leaves it for Esposito. Esposito skates it up. Esposito will take a shot on that. And that's going to be a save by Cheevers. And he'll hold on to it. So face off in the Bruins zone. Schuck and Esposito in the face-off circle. And that's going to be won by Esposito for the for the Blackhawks. It's going to be kicked out to Stapleton. And that is going to be a delayed penalty on Schuck here for the Bruins. So the Chicago may be going on the power play. Esposito winds up and takes the shot. And it's going to be a save by Cheevers. Over to Bobby Ho. Bobby Ho is going to have an opportunity here. Bobby Ho with an excellent shot here. And it's going to be saved by Cheevers once again. And it's going to be out to Wadowich. And with a change of possession, we'll find out what the penalty is. If not, Schuck is going to get it and be able to take a shot. So we'll see, though, if there is a penalty. Oops, that's not what it should have been. Oh, yeah, there you go. No, I should have hit penalty. That's what I should have hit. So let's get rid of this for now. Hit the wrong thing on that. So let's hit penalty. And note that is beyond his number there. So that gets waved off, and he'll take a shot one. And that is going to be saved by Hall. Rebound out to Wadowich. Loose puck battle between Wadowich and Hull. Bobby Hull. And that is going to be won by Wadowich. And he'll take a weak shot. And it's going to be an easy save for Hall. Rebound, though. Loose puck battle between Smith and Wareham. And that's going to be won by Smith for the Bruins. And he'll take a weak shot. Saved by Hall. Bruins getting some pressure on, but nothing quality yet. Esposito with the loose puck. Oops. Gets it over to Bobby Hull. And Bobby Hull will give it away. Schuck with it now for the Bruins. Over to Parise. Parise winds up and takes a shot. It's going to be forced wide by Wareham. Williams with the loose puck for the Bruins. Line change for both teams. And it's going to be a pass by Watson. Watson over to Marat. And that's the end of the penalty on McKenzie there, on his misconduct. Line change for both teams. And Ted Green will take a weak shot. And it's going to be easy save for Hall. He'll leave it for Hodge, who skates it up. Ken Hodge, the future Bruin.
Last minute of play in this period.
So we reach the last minute of the period. It's going to be a takeaway by McKenzie, just back on the ice. And he's going to pass it over to Stewart. Stewart will wind up and take a shot. And another easy save for Hall. Leaves it for Hodge. And that's going to be a forced dump in by Stewart. Almost the end of the period here. And it's going to be won by Mr. Bobby Orr. He gets a loose puck. And he'll be hit off the puck by Stapleton. Orr chases down the loose puck. That'll be the end of the period. So the Bruins with a 1-0 lead at the end of one. Let's take a look at the stats at the end of a period. So the only goal by Marat on his only shot. Ron Stewart had 4 shots on goal. Nothing to show for it. And Esposito led the Blackhawks with 2 shots on goal. Bruins with 12 total shots, and the Blackhawks with only 6 in that first period. So the Bruins pretty much kept the puck out of their end for the most part. All right, we'll be right back with the start of period number 2, with the Bruins up 1-0. All right, here we are at the start of the second period. Bruins up 1-0. Esposito and Dillabau in the face-off circle. Referee drops the puck. And that's going to be won by the Chicago. So the Bruins playing a very good game so far. Fans still nervous though, as it's only a 1-goal lead. And Chicago, a very powerful team. It's going to be kicked over to Esposito. And Esposito will have a good shot here. And it's going to be another save by Cheevers. Rebound out to Esposito. Esposito with another shot, about the same quality of shot. And that's going to be forced wide by Watson for the Bruins. Watson will chase down the loose puck. And that's going to go out to Sather in now for the Bruins, but it's going to be a forced dump in by Palat. I don't say his name that much. Sather getting a start today at right wing. And that is going to be out to loose puck battle between Esposito and Dillabau. And the Bruins were the offense there, right? Yes. Okay, so the Bruins defense. That shot's going to be won by Esposito. Gets the loose puck. And that's going to go over to Palat. And Palat will pass it over to Wareham. Wareham with the shot. And it's going to be another save by Cheevers. A rebound out to Palat. Palat with a chance here. A loose puck battle between Palat and Sather. And that's going to be won pretty easily by Palat. And he will take a weak shot. And that's going to be blocked by Marat. Owns the only goal of the game. Loose puck tracked down by Esposito for the Blackhawks. Gets it over to Wareham. Wareham with the shot. And that's going to be a save by Cheevers, and he'll cover up. The Blackhawks getting a little pressure on to start the second period. Had 3 shots. Nothing to show for it yet. The Bruins lead 1-0. So Esposito and Dillabau back in the face-off circle in the Bruins zone. And face-off won by the Chicago. Gets it out to Palat. And it'll be line changes by both teams. And Impey with it now. He'll pass it over to Boyer. And that's going to be a takeaway by Stewart for the Bruins. Gets it over to McKenzie. McKenzie with the shot. And Hall will make the save and cover up. So face off now in the Chicago zone. And Gotti and Oliver in the face-off circle. Referee drops the puck. Face-off won by the Blackhawks. Kicked out to Mons. Mons over to Boyer. And Boyer with a good shot opportunity here. Save, another save by Cheevers. This puck battle with Nestorenko and Smith. And that is going to be won by Nestorenko. And he'll put a shot on net. Easy save for Cheevers. Leaves it for Smith. Dallas Smith skates it up. Smith with the pass. And he'll come back around to him. And it's going to go out to McKenzie. McKenzie with the pass. And ooh, it's going to be a delayed penalty on Angotti. Actually, it's going to be a penalty on Angotti. Let's see what that is. If not, it'll be a pass by Waterwich. And yep, that is going to be a penalty on Angotti for interference. No misconduct. So the Bruins will be on the power play. So the Bruins with opportunity to increase their lead. McKenzie, Orr, Martin, Watson, and Westphal on the, which I believe is the whole first line there. Oh, other than McKenzie. For the Bruins, and it's going to be Bobby Hull, Palat, Stapleton, and Makita on the penalty kill for the Blackhawks. So Martin and Makita in the face-off circle, and that'll be won by the Blackhawks. Over to Stapleton. Stapleton will ice it. Bruins regroups, take it down. McKenzie with it. McKenzie skates it up, takes a shot. And it's going to be forced wide by Makita. Loose puck covered by Stapleton. And it's going to be no center there, so it's going to be a loose puck here. And it'll be a loose puck battle between Bobby Hull and Watson. And it'll be won by Watson. And it's going to be a forced dump in by Makita. And Hull will cover it up for the face-off. So 40 seconds left approximately on the penalty to Angotti. Face-off in the Blackhawks zone. Makita and Martin in the face-off circle, and Makita will be kicked out of the face-off circle. So the Bruins will win the face-off. Over to Westphal. And it's going to be taken away by Stapleton. And Makita with it. He'll pass it up. And that'll kill off the penalty. So the Blackhawks successfully kill off the penalty to Angotti. And it remains 1-0. So loose puck on the hit by Westphal. Loose puck battle between Martin and Esposito. And that'll be won by Esposito. Bobby Orr will intercept the puck. Gets it over to Martin. Martin with a great feed. Over to Green. Green takes a weak shot, though. Not much on that one. Easy save for Hall. Use it for Ravlich. Ravlich over to Esposito. That's going to be intercepted by Orr. And it's going to be over to Martin. Martin with the pass. Comes back around to him. He'll get it over to Green. Green back to Orr. And that's going to be a loose puck on the hit by Ravlich. Orr chases down the loose puck. Gets it over to Westphal. It's going to be a forced dump in though by Hull. Loose puck battle between Hull and, with Esposito and Martin. And it's going to be won by Martin. Gets it over to Green. Green with the shot. Forced wide by Hull. Esposito tracks down the loose puck. And that's going to be intercepted by ORR once again. Gets it over to Martin. Martin with the shot. With the pass over to ORR. ORR the opportunity now. Winds up, takes a shot. Good chance for ORR, but it's denied by Hall. Loose puck out to Ravlich. Ravlich over to Hull. And that's going to be intercepted by Westfall. Over to Mr. Johnny Busick. Busick with a great feed. Back to Westfall. Westfall takes the shot. And that's going to be blocked by Ravlich. Loose puck battle between ORR and Wareham. Won by Mr. Bobby ORR. Gets it over to Busick. Busick with the pass over to Westfall, and that's going to be a possible penalty. If not, it's going to be a pass by Westfall. It's a possible penalty on Bobby Hull. And that's not good. It's going to be a minor penalty for interference. So the Bruins will be on another power play, and Bobby Hull heads to the penalty box. Let's see here. Find somebody who's got good defense here. I guess that's good. Makita. Okay. Oh, no, he can't duplicate himself. There you go. He's 4 on the power play, though, so that's good. All right, so Bruins on the power play now. Nesterenko and Martin in the face-off circle. That's going to be won by the Bruins. Martin over to ORR. ORR is going to get a great feed over to Watson. Watson will wind up. Oh, his shot will go wide. And loose puck battle between McKenzie and Stapleton. And that'll be won by Stapleton. Bruins will change their line. Stapleton get forced dumping by Green. Chivas will recover and leave it for Green as Chicago changes up. Green over to Marat, who already has the only goal of the game so far. He'll take a weak shot, and it's going to be a save by Hall. And Johnny Busick will track down the loose puck. He'll get it over to Marat. Marat with a good shot here. And he gets his second goal of the game. So, Gilles Marat with his second goal puts the Bruins on top 2-0. Let's make sure we mark it, and we did this time. All right, so the Bruins take a 2-0 lead on the second goal by Gilles Marat. And we'll see if there's any assist on the play. This time we did record the goal. So it looks like it's going to be Mr. Johnny Busick. And on the second shot by Marat. So Marat got a second shot. So we're going to give it to Johnny Busick. Also get an assist. All right, so the Bruins with a 2-goal lead now. And now we can keep Bobby Hull there because the penalty is over. So he can stay on there. Whoops. There we go. All right, so there we go. Let's try that there. We'll go with that line, I guess. All right, so Bruins with a 2-0 lead. Makita and Martin in the face-off circle at center ice. And that's going to be won by the Blackhawks. Makita with it. Makita will be hit off the puck by Watson for the Bruins. Kenzie will track down the loose puck. And he'll get it over to Mr. Bobby Orr. And he'll pass it. Around, it'll come back to him. He'll pass it again. Once again, it comes over back around. He'll pass it again. Gets it over to Westfall this time. Westfall will pass it around. It'll come back to him. Gets it over to McKenzie. And oh, that's going to be intercepted though by Jarrett. Over to Hull. And that'd be a forced dump in by Westfall. And it's going to be a loose puck battle between Makita and Martin. And that'll be won by Makita for Chicago. And the line changes for both teams. Nesterenko with it, and that's going to be a takeaway by McKenzie. He'll get it over to Stewart. Stewart with the shot. And that is going to be a save by Hull. And then he'll go over to, he'll leave it for Van Impe. Van Impe over to Angotti. Angotti with the pass over to Nesterenko. Nesterenko back to Angotti. Angotti back to Nesterenko. Nesterenko back to Angotti as they keep changing. Trading passes. Now there'll be line change for both teams. And it's going to be Makita with a great feed over to Stapleton. Stapleton will take a weak shot. And that'll be covered up by Cheevers. So the Bruins definitely playing the game of their life of their season so far this year with a 2-0 lead over the powerful Chicago Blackhawks as we near the 2-minute mark of the second period. So Makita and Martin in the face-off circle. And that'll be won by Chicago. Over to Stapleton. And, ooh, that's going to be a delayed penalty on Green. There should be a penalty on Green. See what that is. If not, it'll be a pass by Stapleton. So let's see what the penalty is, if any, on Green. And no, it's not. It's going to be 38, so that's going to be beyond his penalty range. So the penalty gets waved off. Stapleton with the pass over to Ravlich.
Last minute of play.
Ravlich over to Stapleton. He'll reach the final minute. That's going to be hit off the puck by Green. Mr. Bobby Orr with the loose puck. Gets it over to Martin. Martin with the pass over to Green. That's going to be a takeaway by Makita. Stapleton with it. And Stapleton with a weak shot. And that'll be saved by Cheevers. This puck battle between Mackey and Orr. And that's going to be won by Orr. And that'll do it. So at the end of 2, it's the Bruins 2-0 over the Chicago Blackhawks. So let's take a look at the stats here at the end of 2. So at the end of 2, the Bruins have shots a little bit more even there. Chicago won that 7-6. So Bruins with 18 total shots. Blackhawks with 13. And let's see here. Marat has 3 shots on net with 2 goals. Ron Stewart leads the Bruins though with 5 shots. Nothing to show for it though. So Joe Watson and Johnny Busick with assists for the Blackhawks. So Esposito continues to lead with 3 shots on net. And that is pretty much it. So nothing really going for the Blackhawks today. Although they played the Bruins pretty evenly in that second period. The Bruins ended up getting a goal in that period to increase the lead to 2-0. So we'll be right back with start of period number 3, with the Bruins up 2-0. Alright, so we're at the start of period number 3. And Gotti and Oliver in the face-off circle at center ice. Referee drops the puck. And that'll be won by Chicago. Out to Palat. Over to Nestorenko. Nestorenko with a weak shot. And that is going to be saved by Cheevers. Loose puck. Battle between Jarrett and McKenzie. Going to be won by Jarrett, and he will take another shot. Not much on that one, as Cheevers will make the save and cover it up. So face off in the Bruins zone to the left of Cheevers with as we early seconds of the third period. So Gotti and Oliver back in the face-off circle, and that's going to be won by Chicago. Kicks it out to Nestorenko. Nestorenko over to Palat. Palat with the shot. Saved by Cheevers. Rebound. Battle between Nestorenko and Smith. That'll be won by Dallas Smith for the Bruins. Gets it over to Oliver, and that'll be a forced dump in by Jarrett. And Palat will chase down the loose puck. Gets it over to Angotti, and it'll be taken away by Oliver. And it'll come back around. Oliver will wind up and take a shot. Good chance for the Bruins here. And that's going to be forced wide by Palat. This puck battle between Palat and Stewart. And that's going to be won by Stewart. Line change for both teams. Or with it now. Or with the pass over to Green. Green with a weak shot. And easy save for Hall. Leaves it for Makita. And Makita over to Hall, Dennis Hall. And ooh, that's going to be another possible penalty on McKenzie. And it's going to go over to Munz, and Munz will take a weak shot. But it'll be a goal. Wow, not much on that, but it gets past Cheevers, and the Blackhawks are on the board. So that quiets the Bruins faithful a little bit. It's now just a 1-goal lead. I didn't think that was going to go in, but it gets through the skates of Cheevers. Cheevers didn't think it went in either, but it got through him and into the back of the net. So Dennis Hull and Makita with the assist. And the Blackhawks are on the board. So Angotti and Martin in the face-off circle. Bruin just a slim 1-goal lead now. And that is going to be won by the Blackhawks. Stapleton with it. Over to Angotti. Angotti will come back around. And he'll pass it again to Stapleton. Line changes by both teams. Van Impe with it now for the Blackhawks. And he'll give it away. And Chicago gets back quickly as Stewart has it now. Gets it over to McKenzie. And McKenzie with the shot. And that is going to be held on to by Hall. So 15:40 left in the game. Bruins hanging on to a 1-goal lead. Makita and Oliver in the face-off circle. Face-off won by the Bruins. Out to McKenzie. McKenzie back to Oliver. Oliver with it. Passes it over to McKenzie. And McKenzie will take a weak shot on net. And that'll be held on to by Hall after the save. So face off in the Blackhawks zone. Bruins 2-1. Makita and Oliver back again in the face-off circle. And that's going to be won by Van Impe. I mean, by the Chicago out to Van Impe. And it'd be to Makita. And forced dumping by ORR. And Cheevers will cover it up for the face-off. So Bruins hanging on to a 1-goal lead. 15 minutes left in the game. Oh, in regulation anyway. And that is going to, well, actually it would be the game because they don't do any shootouts or anything like that. It's just a tie at the end of regulation back in the 60s. Let's see here. So that is going to go out to Chicago, win the face-off. Makita with it. Over to Van Impe. Van Impe with the pass over to Mons. Oh, and it's going to be a delayed penalty on ORR. Mr. Bobby ORR with a delayed penalty possibly on him. And that is going to be over to Mons. Mons with a great feed to Makita. And Makita with an excellent shot here. And that's going to be saved by Cheevers. And loose puck battle between Makita and ORR. And ORR will win that loose puck battle, but there'll be a stoppage of play. So let's see what happens if there's no penalty for some reason. Which is 35. There probably is going to be. And there might be another. Oh, there could be a penalty on Hull after that. Let's see. So let's see if first what happens with the penalty on. So if this does not happen, then it's going to be a penalty. Delayed penalty on Hull, and Stewart will take a shot too. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Yeah, that's a penalty on ORR. No misconduct for cross-checking. So the Blackhawks will be on the power play. The 14-minute mark of period number 3. Alright. So Esposito and Martin in the face-off circle. And that's going to be won by the Bruins. Martin with it, and that's going to be taken away by Mons. Over to Palat. And Palat will take the shot. And that's going to be a save by Cheevers. And loose puck battle between Mons and Green, won by Mons. And he will wind up and take a shot. And that's going to be a save by Cheevers. And it's going to be Palat will track down the loose puck. And that's going to be taken away by Martin. He'll pass it over to Busick. Busick with a shorthanded opportunity here. Winds up and takes a shot. Oh, and just misses. Nice, great save by Hull just off his skate. But kicks it wide. So the Bruins had an opportunity, a shorthanded opportunity there. And over to Wareham. Wareham with it. And that's going to be a forced dump in by Busick. And it's going to be a post puck battle between Mons and Green. Won by Mons. Over to Wareham. And that'll be taken away by Busick. And change for both teams. And it'll be intercepted by Makita. And that Bruins successfully kill off the penalty there. So, oh, however, immediately there's going to be a delayed penalty on Shock now. So Chicago may be going on another power play. We'll see what happens here, though, as Esposito gets off a great pass over to Wareham. Wareham will wind up and take a shot. Oh, and a nice, great save by Cheevers. Loose puck battle between Stapleton and Smith, and that is going to be won by Smith. So we'll see what the penalty is here. Otherwise, it's going to be a shot won by Shock. Let's see what happens here, though. Yeah, and that's going to be another penalty on the Bruins. Ron Shock will go to the penalty box for hooking. Not too happy about that. Fans definitely not happy about that as they boo loudly. So once again, the Blackhawks will be on the penalty on the power play, with the Bruins up by clean to a 1-goal lead here, nearly halfway through the third period. So Esposito and Martin in the faceoff circle, and that's going to be won by Chicago. Over to Wareham. Wareham over to Mons. Onto the great feed back to Jarrett. And Jarrett's shot will go wide. Oh no, and we're going to be right back because we have a runtime error here. So we'll be right back after we reboot. Alright, and we're back. After the crash. Started the penalty power play on for Chicago, and after the penalty by Shock. Referee drops the puck, and it's going to be won by the Blackhawks. And that's going to go over to Jarrett. Jarrett with the pass over to Wareham. And Wareham will actually have a shot 2 on the net. And that is going to be forced wide by Green. This puck battle between Wareham and Orr. And it's going to be won by Mr. Bobby Orr. Gets it over to Busick. And he will ice it. Line changes by both teams. Stapleton with it now. Stapleton will pass it around, and it'll go to Bobby Hull. Is 1 through 40 on the power play. Excellent on the power play is Hull. Can't get any better than that. He'll wind up and take a shot, and that's going to be a save and held on to by Cheevers. So Hull with an excellent opportunity there gets denied by Cheevers. Face off in the Bruins zone. There's 20 seconds left on the penalty to Shock. And Makito will win the faceoff. It's going to go over to Stapleton. Stapleton over to Van Impe. And the Bruins successfully kill off the penalty there. And we're more than halfway through the third period. 9 minutes left in the game with the Bruins clinging to a 1-goal lead. Bruins played an excellent game up until now. So Makito with it. Makito will pass it around. It'll come back to him. And he'll get it over to Stapleton. Stapleton with the shot. And, almost held on to by Cheevers. But squirts loose. And he'll get it over to Smith. Line changes for both teams. And Marat's line on now. Marat has 2 goals in the game for the Bruins. The only scoring the Bruins have had. And that is going to go over to Watson. Watson over to Martin. Martin with the pass back to Watson. And Watson will pass it over to Busick. Busick will wind up and take a shot. And that'll be saved and held on to by Hall. So face off in the Chicago zone. Both teams with 23 shots on goal. Bruins just have 1 more that went in. So face off. And it's going to be Martin getting kicked out of the face-off circle. Not many kickouts today. Been pretty clean at the face-off circle so far. And that's going to be won by Angotti. Chicago. And the Bruins will intercept that one. Joe Watson with it. Over to Westfall. And there'll be line changes for both teams there. Ron Stewart with it now for the Bruins. He'll pass it over to Smith, and that's going to be taken away by Mons. Mons over to Van Impe. That's going to be a forced dump in by Wadowich. And Chivas will recover it and leave it for Wadowich. Gets it over to Smith. Dallas Smith with the pass over to Wadowich. Wadowich with the pass back to Stewart. Stewart with a great feed over to Oliver. Oliver will wind up and take a shot. And a great save by Hall. There's a rebound here. And John McKenzie with an opportunity here, battling Mons for the loose puck. And Mons will win that battle, unfortunately. Line change for both teams. Chico Mackey with it now. And it's going to be intercepted by Marat. And it'll be forced dump in by Ravlich. This puck battle between Westfall and Stapleton. And it's going to be Stapleton with the loose puck. Gets it over to Makita. Makita with a shot. And that'll be held onto by Cheevers. Scored loose for a second, but was able to get on it again. So face off in the Bruins zone. Just 3 minutes 20 seconds left in the game. Bruins hang on to a 1-goal lead. Makita and Martin in the face-off circle. That's going to be won by Chicago. Gets it over to Mackey, and it'll be a forced dump in by Busick. And Chivas will cover it up. Blackhawks win the face-off. Stapleton with it. And it's going to be a takeaway by Martin. And that'll be a forced dump in by Makita. And Stapleton will win the loose puck battle there. Line changes on both teams. And no penalty on there. But Van Impe will take a shot. And that'll be a goal. So Van Impe ties the game. That definitely quieted the Bruins crowd there. So Van Impe, with 2 minutes left in the game, is able to put it by Cheevers, who would have been excellent so far. Oh, hold on here. Let's see. So let's see if there's any assists on the play. And Stapleton with the loose puck. So Stapleton will get credit for the... Find Stapleton. Get credit for the assist. And it's a 2-2 game now. Bruins will take the tie. They'd rather get the win, of course, but they'll take a tie. Still 2 minutes left, though. We'll see what happens. So Esposito and Shock in the face-off circle. And it's going to be won by Chicago. Out to Wareham. Wareham over to Hull. And Hull with a great feed. Over to Esposito. Esposito winds up and takes a shot. And almost blocked by Smith. Instead, it'll be saved and held onto by Cheevers. So face off in the Bruins zone. Blackhawks win that. Out to Van Impe. Van Impe over to Wareham. Wareham with a great feed. Over to Esposito. Esposito gets a weak shot on that. Saved again by Cheevers. Covers it up. Nearing the 1 minute mark of the third and final period here. 2-2. So the goal by Van Impe ties things up. And it's going to be won by the Bruins.
Last minute of
Creasy with it.
period.
Creasy over to Smith. Smith with the pass back to Parisi. Parisi will give it away, though. Bruins get back quickly. Esposito with the pass over to Mons. Forced dump in by Smith. Loose puck battle between Hull and Wadowich. And it's going to be won by Hull. Hull over to Wareham. And hit off the puck by Parise. And Impey and Williams battling for it. Williams easily wins that battle. And that is the end of the game. So the Bruins, who led 2-0 much of the game, end up settling for a tie. Considering that they lost this game 10-2, we will take that. So Marat with the hero for Boston. 2 goals out of 3 shots on goal. 2 takeaways and interceptions. 1 block shot. And a plus minus of 1. Looks like positive 1. Jerry Cheevers stopped 25 out of 27 shots, 93%. Player of the game number 2, and Stan Mikita with an assist and 2 shots on goal. I don't know about that. Get 3 takeaways and interceptions, though. So that's probably part of it right there. And he's a 1 also. So the Chicago scores 2 third-period goals to tie the game at 2. Van Impe gets his 6th goal. Doug Munns gets his 7th. And Marat has 2 goals and now has 5 on the season. So we'll check the box score here. So let's see here. Who led in shots on goal for the Bruins? Ron Stewart. 5 shots on net to lead the Bruins. Nothing to show for it. And Phil Esposito. 5 shots on goal for the Blackhawks with nothing to show for it either. So Marat with both goals for the Bruins. Busick and Watson on the assists. And Van Impe, Mons and Van Impe. Van Impe the tying goal for the Blackhawks with Pat Stapleton, Stan Mikita, and Dennis Hull with the assists. So total shots in the third period, it was Chicago 14-6. And overall, Chicago ended up beating the Bruins 27-24 after trailing most of the game in shots on goal. So Chicago was just too tough to handle there in the third period, but fortunately for the Bruins, they ended up with a tie. So we will take that against the great Chicago Blackhawks, who ended up ending up in first place in the 1967 season, with the Toronto Maple Leafs winning the Stanley Cup. I believe finishing third. Bruins were in the basement. So we will take that against one of the great teams of the era. Definitely cannot wait till next year. Next year promises to be a great season, but we still have to get through this one. So thank you. Oh, let's look at Bobby Orr's stats for the day. Bobby Orr with 1 shot on goal. Did have 5 takeaways and interceptions, so it was very big defensively, keeping part of the reason why Chicago is unable to score or get the puck in there is because of Mr. number 4, Bobby Orr. He forced 1 wide shot, and he did have a 2-minute penalty with a -1 for the day. So we'll see you in the next game. Thank you for joining me. It's been Eric from Higher Ground Gaming. So take care and God bless. Bye-bye now.